So we live in a culture where spirituality or religion is very much compartmentalized into one little, usually very small nook. And then the rest of the time, that's our non-spiritual life. But relating to the view of this tradition, everything is either spiritual or non-spiritual. It doesn't really matter, but everything is the same. There are no compartments in the ultimate reality. And we're trying to know that ultimate reality. We're trying to know ourselves. So we can't do that if we still are taking up the position that there's things that are non-spiritual and things that are spiritual. Hey, sweets, thanks. Boom, 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 boom. Thanks, Abby. That is so beautiful. You know what I think there is right here? I think that's a jewel in the heart. Is that a jewel? It looks like it's a shining gem. So, the thing that breaks it down is desire, yearning, longing, those kinds of things. And when we do, those are the engines of our practice. Nothing can happen without yearning, without longing, without desire. And those feel it, or devotion. Usually devotion is something that maybe some people come in the world feeling comfortable with, but usually it's our yearning that leads us to that, not maybe right from the beginning, but something maybe that comes in later or not. If you're lucky, it's there from the beginning. Any case, those things all melt away, those boundaries, and where you just become desperate to have a more continuous experience of presence, and you begin to feel that is actually your refuge, and the only refuge is to be resting in your real nature, being immersed in that presence all the time, no matter what you're doing, whether you're at work or on a date or whatever. So once you begin to have contact with that through the teacher and through your practice and through your own efforts, then you don't want, there comes a time when you just don't want those compartments anymore, right? Because being immersed in presence is just so much more compelling, right? And all those compartments begin to feel very dry and flinty and unnecessary. So this happens naturally when you do practice every day, and you have to let yourself be swept away by desire, by longing, by yearning. And then there's no more powerful force. And the thing that really stops us is our attachment to being conventional, right? And we just want to be like everybody else. Some people just have a very strong, I just want to be like everybody else. I don't want to be different. So that can kind of hold people up for a while. Though there's sort of a middle period, when you're really getting, they call it entering the stream, being a stream enterer. And then, when you're just doing a lot of practice and you're hanging out with your spiritual community, people do think you're weird. But after a while, when your heart opens enough, it doesn't matter how weird you are because people feel loved, right? So when you get to that point, no one cares what you're doing, right? If the Dalai Lama were judged by the same standards as like your dad is judging you, if you can imagine that, right? Or if you expected the Dalai Lama to behave as you do, right? It doesn't make any sense. So, so once you open your heart enough, no one cares what you're doing. Or if they do, it's only because they're so shut down and they can't feel your heart. Right? No matter how open your heart is, not everybody is going to be able to feel it. But those people who can feel it won't care anymore what you're doing. And neither will you.